Let's turn on the mic. All right. So we're live with Aaron on an X Space while simultaneously streaming on Restream. What's up? Let's go technology. Let's do some. I actually like Aaron. Oh, whoops. Oh, there it is. Are you hearing it too? I was hearing myself come through your stream. All right. So let's, Aaron is actually a nice guy. So let's go for poem number 1. So this is Frack Inc. Volume 1, Issue 7, File 3 of 10. The following was written shortly after my arrest. It's called Conscience of a Hacker by the Mentor, aka Lloyd Blankenship, written on January 8th, 1986. Another one got caught today. It's all over the papers. Teenager arrested in computer crime scandal. Hacker arrested after bank tampering. Damn kids, they're all alike. But did you, in your 3-piece psychology and 1950s techno brain, ever take a look behind the eyes of a hacker? Did you ever wonder what made him tick? What forces shaped him? What may have molded him? I am a hacker. Enter my world. Mine is a world that begins with school. I am smarter than most of the other kids. This crap they teaches us bores me. Damn underachiever. They're all alike. I'm in junior high school. I've listened to the teachers explain for the 15th time how to reduce a fraction. I understand it. No, Miss Smith, I didn't show my work. I did it in my head. Damn kid. Probably copied it. They're all alike. I made a discovery today. I found a computer. Wait a second. This is cool. It does what I want it to. If it makes a mistake, it's because I screwed it up. Not because it doesn't like me, or feels threatened by me, or thinks I'm a smartass, or doesn't like teaching and shouldn't be here. Damn kid. All he does is play games. They're all alike. And then it happened. A door opened to a world, rushing through the phone line like heroin through an addict's veins. An electronic pulse is sent out. A refuge from the day-to-day incompetencies is sought. A board is found. This is it. This is where I belong. I know everyone here. Even if I've never met them, never talked to them, may never hear from them again, I know you all. Shout out to Rocket. Anyways, and Aaron. Damn kid. Tying up the phone line again. They're all alike. You bet your ass we're all alike. We've been spoon-fed baby food at school when we hungered for steak. The bits of meat you did let slip through were pre-chewed and tasteless. We've been dominated by sadists or ignored by the apathetic. The few that had something to teach us, willing pupils. But those are like drops of water in the desert. This is our world now. The world of the electron and the switch. The beauty of the baud. We make use of a service already existing without paying for what could be dirt cheap. If it wasn't run by profiteering gluttons, and you call us criminals. We explore, and you call us criminals. We seek after knowledge, and you call us criminals. We exist without skin color, without nationality, without religious bias, and you call us criminals. You build atomic bombs. You wage wars. You murder, cheat, and lie to us. Try to make us believe it's for our own good. Yet we're the criminals. Yes, I'm a criminal. My crime is that of curiosity. My crime is that of judging people by what they say and think, not what they fucking look like. I added that one, I had to. My crime is that of outsmarting you. Something that you will never forgive me for. I am a hacker, And this is my manifesto. You may stop this individual, but you can't stop us all. After all, we're all alike. The Mentor. Do you know that poem, Aaron? Let me pause the stream. Turn mic back on. I love how you just missed the greatest thing ever. All right. This is called Minds and Mirrors. So there's a live stream happening too, Lily, at the same time. So this is in honor of Lloyd Blankenship, who was invited to DEF CON for 20 plus years. He would read that poem and leave. He'd sign stuff, answer questions, and then the young crowd forgot all about him. A legacy, an OG, guy that paved the way for all these InfoSec assholes. I said it on a live stream. Most of them, assholes, reformed criminals getting a second chance that just those pre-chewed, tasteless pieces of meat, that's every one of these InfoSec pieces of shit. It's a live court case. Next motherfucker that challenges me on a X stream, X space, give me your name and your address and I'll summon you. Then you can get a front row seat. It won't even involve you in the case. Anyways, Minds and Mirrors, the making of a social engineer. Writing this since 2008 to Lloyd Blankenship, for all the people that forgot about you. Like the alchemists of old who sought to transform lead into gold, this magnum opus chronicles the psychological transformation of a social engineer from unwitting apprentice to master of human nature's reflective surfaces. Just as the original Hacker's Manifesto captured the essence of technological rebellion and understanding, this work maps the territory of psychological insight and social dynamics earned through survival and observation. This is not merely a confession or a manifesto. It's a grimoire of human behavior, documenting the transmutation of manipulation into understanding, of victimhood into mastery, of pain into profound insight. Where the Hacker's Manifesto spoke of exploring technological systems, this opus delves into the most complex system of all, human nature itself. What makes this a true magnum opus is not just its comprehensive cataloging of social engineering techniques and psychological patterns, but its transformation of personal wounds into universal wisdom. It stands as a warning and enlightenment, a mirror held up to those who would manipulate, reflecting back the very techniques they deploy. while simultaneously serving as a guidebook for those seeking to understand the architecture of human influence. And for those on the stream, feel free to join Aaron's space, because shout out to Aaron for allowing me to read, because Aaron is actually a good guy. That being said, I'll continue. I am the reflection you fear to see, not just a mirror, but a prism of infinite angles showing every shadow you've cast, every mask you've worn. You look at me. You see not what you are, but what you've desperately tried to hide. Each facet reflects a different lesson. The power plays you thought I didn't notice. The subtle manipulations you assumed went unseen. The careful constructions of control you built around me. These reflections didn't form overnight. They accumulated slowly, like mercury beating on glass. Each small moment of clarity, another drop. By the way, first time reading this, so why the fuck not? After what just happened a minute ago, go fuck yourself, DJ Cloud. That being said, and I'm spreading this everywhere, you piece of shit, like mercury. So, this is my confession, my revelation, my transformation from unwitting apprentice to the master of human nature's reflective surfaces. Knowledge isn't power. That's what the manipulators want you to believe. Understanding is power. The deep, visceral comprehension of human nature lets you see the strings before they're pulled, recognize the patterns before they form. I didn't choose this path of understanding. It chose me through countless small moments of recognition, each one a shard of a mirror slowly assembling itself into truth. You think you know manipulation. You've studied your scripts, rehearsed your techniques, mastered your micro expressions. But true influence, it's not about control. It's about confluence. The moment when minds meet mirrors and they align, creating infinite reflections of possibility. This is not just my story. It's a map of human vulnerability, drawn in the ink of experience and sealed with the blood of hard-won wisdom. Each technique you're about to learn comes at a price. Each insight earned through pain. Each strategy born from survival. How's it going so far? Because this is the first time I'm reading this. Aaron only heard a piece of this. To those who taught me unwillingly, the bullies who showed me fear's leverage, the lovers who demonstrated emotional manipulation, the mentors who revealed power's true face, the victims who taught me consciousness weight. This is your legacy, not what you intended to teach, but what I learned to see in the mirrors you held up without knowing. Welcome to the reflection. Welcome to understanding. Welcome to the art of seeing through minds and mirrors. The arsenal of awareness. Before I awoke to this reality, I was a canvas for others' techniques. Now I recognize their artistry. The false time constraints creating artificial urgency. The subtle isolation tactics severing support networks. The reciprocity traps disguised as generosity. The authority plays masked as protection. And the social proof manipulation through manufactured consensus. DJ Cloud, you fucking idiot. Each technique left its mark, and each mark became a lesson. I learned to spot the signs. The slight pause before a calculated response. The strategic use of silence to force disclosure. The Russians do that, by the way. They're very good at it. The carefully crafted questions that lead down prepared paths. The artificial rapport building through mirroring NLP. The subtle tests of boundaries disguised as casual requests. But awareness carries its own weight. Right, Aaron? Every interaction becomes a puzzle to solve. Every conversation, a game of chess. The cost of seeing through the minds and mirrors. The perpetual hypervigilance that exhausts the spirit. The struggle to maintain authentic connections when patterns scream danger. The isolation that comes with seeing what others miss. The burden of knowing when to reveal understanding and when to stay silent, like the Russians, because they're so good at it. The constant battle between apathy and self-protection. I am awake now. I see the world for how it truly is. I possess a gift you're suspicious of, but you can't turn away from it, can you? You should, because my gift will ruin your life. It definitely changed mine, and it took years to realize it was for the better. Stop. I said, knowing your next sheepish phrase and your blatant efforts to appear relatable when you say things like, yeah, that sounds like me. Me too. Wait, I said that out loud, didn't I? I thought that was my inner voice. My therapist said I'm allowed to express myself. I've shared this information with you before, but this time it's different. I can see it in your eyes, those same eyes you once commanded me to look into, the ones I feared looking and locking on you with, the fear you mistook for weakness. This scares me more than you do. You see this, and you're confused. Hang on. All right. You're confused why this isn't working the way that it did before. You remembered weakness, a hole created, a hole that you created, a portal to enter unannounced and without my permission. The hole remains, but you look closely this time. It's patched now. There's a note that reads, package received, leave at the door. Thank you. Your insistence on this delivery stems from a memory of a corrupted image you created of me and for me. I told you this before you sent me to that mental prison, the academy where I learned to become someone different. The academy of unwitting enlightenment. How am I doing, Aaron? You like it so far? They called it training, rehabilitation, correction. Beautiful words for a mental prison. But prisons, I learned, make excellent classrooms when you realize the bars are made of others' expectations. Each lesson they forced upon me became a mirror, reflecting not my flaws, but their fears. Hang on. Sorry, dude, it's the culmination. I told you, it's my magnum opus. The curriculum was unwritten, but absolute. Lesson 1, submission. They taught me compliance. I learned observation. They demanded silence. I mastered listening. They required obedience. I developed understanding. Lesson 2, reformation. Break him down, they whispered. Rebuild him properly, they planned. But every crack they made let in more light. Lesson 3, performance. Show us you've changed. Demonstrate your progress. Prove your transformation. What they never grasped. Each demand for performance was a masterclass in human manipulation. Every attempt to fix me revealed their own broken patterns. While they thought they were molding clay, I was learning to be the potter. The true education wasn't in their lessons. It was in their tactics. The subtle shifts in tone that telegraphed their intentions. The micro expressions that betrayed their doubts. The pattern of pressure and release they used to shape my behavior. They created their perfect student, never realizing they were teaching exactly what they'd feared I'd learn. The architecture of control, the mechanics of manipulation, the art of seeing through the minds and mirrors, the transformation protocol. My evolution followed an unwitting path. Stage 1, the vulnerable echo, absorbing others' expectations without question, mistaking manipulation for mentorship. It was a good try. So many good tries with that one. Carrying emotional wounds as personal failures. Stage 2, the awakening observer, recognition of recurring patterns in behavior, initial documentation of manipulation techniques, and then development of emotional distance as protection. Such a retreat, that place, isn't it? Stage 3, the pattern seeker, systematic analysis of your past interactions, creation of mental catalogs of your behavior tells, understanding of psychological leverage points Stage 4. The conscious curator. Selection of which patterns to internalize. Development of ethical frameworks for knowledge use later. Interaction of awareness with the authentic self. Stage 5. The reflective master. Transformation of defensive skills into understanding. The balance of knowledge with compassion. Using awareness for protection rather than power. You don't know me, and I apologize, but I know everything I need to know about you. You show it now more than ever. I knew from our first meeting that you were going to hurt me. You chose me for this reason. Seeing me as the culmination of everything you despised in this life. You always made sure I knew this. Only now do I understand that this was my training. Training I accepted because that's what I was taught to do. Your perfect little soldier who obeyed without fail, but somehow is now issuing their own commands. You thought you knew me. The problem? You never did. You called me a know-it-all. You called me a smartass. I am the librarian. I have the knowledge that you seek. I've read from the books that I safeguard. Why? Because you won't look for yourself. Come see me when you would like to rent some knowledge. The librarian's archive. I am the librarian, the keeper of a collection you'll never find in any building. My shelves stretch endless in architecture of memory, each volume bound in experience, each page written with the ink of observation. You think your secrets are your own. They're here, cataloged with care, filed between human nature and hidden motives. It's an interesting section of the library, Aaron. Let me show you my special collection. The archive of first impression holds every micro-expression you thought no one caught. That flicker of contempt. I always got that one right on the test, by the way. Masked by a smile, the slight narrowing of the eyes that betray calculation. Each tell cataloged, cross-referenced, and preserved. Your face is an open book, and I've memorized every chapter. The restricted section houses the darkest volumes. Manipulation tactics witnessed and survived. Gaslighting techniques filed by sophistication level. Emotional exploitation categorized by effectiveness. These books are kept under lock and key, not because I fear them being stolen, but because knowledge this dangerous demands responsible guardianship. The reference collection contains the patterns. Oh, the patterns, right, Aaron? The patterns. Every human behavior reduced to its basic algorithm. Every social manipulation distilled to its core formula. You thought each one of your moves was original? I've heard this story before in 100 different variations. Some come seeking to borrow the knowledge, thinking they can simply check out understanding like a weekend novel. Right, Aaron? Morons. They don't realize this library operates differently. The knowledge here isn't meant for lending. It's earned through survival, cataloged through pain. Hang on. Preserved through understanding. Each piece of wisdom comes with a price tag of experience. My role isn't just to collect and preserve. I'm the gatekeeper, deciding which knowledge to share and which to keep sealed. Some secrets are just too volatile. Some insights too raw. Not everybody who asks deserves access to the full catalog. That's ridiculous, bro. This is the burden of the keeper. Knowing not just what to preserve, but what to protect others from. Every day, new volumes appear on my shelves. Each interaction, another footnote. Each attempted manipulation, another chapter. The library grows, and with it, my responsibility, because knowledge isn't just power. It's a weapon, a shield, a key, and a cage. Those who seek it must be proven worthy of its weight. Right, Aaron? So come, browse my shelves. But remember, in this library, the books read you back. And I, the librarian, see every page you turn. The ethical paradigm. This knowledge comes with responsibility. Each insight raises questions. When does observation become manipulation? How do we protect ourselves without becoming what we fear? What is I know it's fine. What is the cost of awareness to our capacity for trust? Where's the line between defense and offense? Pick your battles, they said, right? Which ones? No answer. How do we maintain authenticity while staying aware? You don't know me. No one does. And I now understand this isn't my fault. I told you this countless times. Perhaps it became mind-numbing noise from your foolish puppet, the one with delusions of childhood dreams. You told the child they're not going to get their dream job. You're not going to get that family. You're not going to get the life that you should focus on. You need to listen to your idea of how they should live. This gift and knowledge was meant to be shared with anyone who wants it. It's going to anger you on a level I claim to not understand, though I'm no longer convinced I should pretend that's true. Concern you, revealing that everyone causing my internal conflict since you entered my world was your own personal pain. While you thought you had a victim, you were being analyzed. This is going to liberate you. I've carried your issues my whole life. The revelation, everything that hurt me inside was the acceptance of your evil, not mine. The moment of telling a child creates an irreversible psychological rupture, a forced awakening that fundamentally alters their perception of reality. This isn't merely sharing information. It's shattering the protective bubble of childhood innocence. The initial anger transcends simple emotion, manifesting as a primal rage at the violation of childhood sanctuary, a deep betrayal of parental trust and protection that you were supposed to give your child. Existential fury at the premature end of innocence you destroyed, and protective wrath on behalf of all children's vulnerabilities. The concern penetrates multiple psychological layers. Immediate worry for the child's emotional stability, fear of permanent psychological scarring, anxiety about their future and their ability to trust, deep unease about society's failure to protect, and guilt, their guilt over being the bearer of harsh reality that you created. Yet there's a liberating aspect that emerges through the breaking silence's isolating power, transforming private pain to shared understanding, converting helplessness to protective action, channeling anger into positive change, and finding strength in confronting difficult truths. However, this librarian carries its own weight, the freedom of truth, bound eternally to the responsibility of knowing what you did. In telling the child, we see reflected our own lost innocence, society's collective failures, the eternal cycle of necessary pain, the price of power and truth, and the burden of blessings and awareness. Because like a mirror showing multiple reflections, each telling contains both destruction and creation, ending one reality and birthing another, more complex understanding. This moment acts as a crucible where innocence, necessity, and responsibility collide. The anger burns, the concern weighs, and the librarian uplifts, creating an alchemical transformation that leaves both teller and told forever changed. Yet in this painful metamorphosis lies the seed of healing, understanding, and ultimately hope. The psychological impact of telling the child. Initial trauma response. You doing okay, Aaron? I don't want to trigger you. Good. Initial trauma response. The moment of telling a child creates an irreversible psychological rupture, a forced awakening that fundamentally alters their perception of reality. This isn't merely shaping information, it's shattering that protective bubble. Anger of childhood innocence. It's a repetitive phrase for a reason. Anger's evolution. The initial anger transcends simple emotion, manifesting as a primal rage at the violation of childhood's sanctuary, a deep betrayal of parental trust and protection, existential fury at the premature end of innocence, and protective wrath on behalf of all children's vulnerabilities. The anger becomes both shield and sword, defending against the pain while striking out at the injustice. The depths of concern. The concern penetrates multiple psychological layers. The immediate worry for the child's emotional stability, fear of permanent psychological scarring, anxiety about their future ability to trust, deep unease about society's failure to protect, and guilt over being that bearer of the harsh reality that you created. This concern acts as both burden and motivation, weighing heavily while driving that protective action. The liberation paradox. The liberating aspect emerges through breaking silence's isolating power, transforming private pain to shared understanding, converting helplessness to protective action, and channeling anger into positive change, finding strength in confronting difficult truths. Yet this librarian carries its own weight, the freedom of truth bound eternally to the responsibility of knowing what you did. The mirror effect. In telling the child, we see reflected our own lost innocence, society's collective failures, the eternal cycle of necessary pain, the price of power and truth, and the burden and blessing of awareness. Like a mirror showing multiple reflections, each telling contains both destruction and creation, ending one reality while birthing another, more complex understanding. The conclusion, the crucible of truth. This moment acts as a crucible where innocence, necessity, and responsibility collide. The anger burns, the concern weighs, and the liberation uplifts, creating an alchemical transformation that leaves both teller and told forever changed. Yet in this painful metamorphosis lies the seed of healing, understanding, and ultimately hope. Like the mirror that both reflects and reveals, this telling becomes part of the eternal cycle of human growth, where the harsh truths, through painful, light the path toward deeper wisdom and more profound protection of all that we hold precious. And Aaron heard this part, and show Aaron some love on X, you fucking ungrateful heathens. Yes, I am a know-it-all. Yes, I am a smartass. My transformation is that of understanding, seeing through the mirrors that you hold up without knowing. My game is cataloging every manipulation, every power play, and every mask you thought I couldn't see. I am the librarian, and you are the one who imprisoned me in this fortress of knowledge. Each book on these shelves is a lesson you never meant to teach, each volume bound in the experience of surviving your games. You thought you were breaking me, but you were building your own undoing. This library grows with every attempted manipulation, every calculated silence, every false urgency you try to create. You come now seeking knowledge, thinking you can simply check out understanding like a weekend novel. You don't realize this library operates differently. Knowledge here is earned through survival, cataloged through pain, preserved through understanding. Some secrets are too volatile, some insights too raw. Not everybody who asks deserves the full catalog. This is the burden of the keepers. This is not just what we preserve, but what we protect others from. We are the librarians. We, the keepers of the patterns you didn't know you were creating. You may silence one of us, but you cannot burn down the library of understanding that we have built. After all, you were the ones who taught us to read between the lines. Come see me when you want to rent some knowledge, but remember, in this library, the books read you back. The end. That was the first time I've read this poem. So,